How's it going, everyone? It's Zerker, and we're back with another video, and this time it's going to be part 2 of my unhauling adventure. This might be the last unhauling I do. Mostly everything else after this is just like singles of stuff that I bought that I'm no longer interested in. So yeah, this will probably be the last one for a while, and then it probably is most likely gonna be the most controversial one too, I think. But let's jump into it and see what I'm getting rid of and how many people I can piss off in this process. To kick things off, I'm gonna start with maybe some singles where I got like a couple singles, and then a series I bought a while ago that I just never got to read, and then we'll jump into some series I was really interested in reading and then just fell off of enjoying them. So we're gonna start it off with Made in Abyss. This is volume 1. Never got around to actually reading it, and quite honestly I don't really have an interest in actually reading it. The art style for me just doesn't do anything for me. As much as I want to get into it, I just can't. And quite frankly, the anime's out. It's like 2 seasons, 3 seasons, and I'm just probably gonna watch that down the road when I get some free time. So this has got to go. Follow that up, I got to get rid of, because I've had these for a while. I actually forgot I had them because they were in a box. But volumes 1, 2, 4, and 5 of Judge, I actually had to buy these as a set because I can't remember if I needed volume 3 or 6. I needed one of those volumes, and this had the volume that I was missing in a semi-completed set, and it was cheaper to buy this whole entire set than to actually buy the individual volume that I needed. I had to do it, and these have been sitting around for a while now, and yeah, now that I'm kind of settled, I've been able to find them. Now I can get rid of them. Now we're kind of going to get into the things that I was anticipating to read, did enjoy reading, or just fell off of reading them. And we're going to start with one that I wanted to read, but ultimately I just lost interest in this series. And quite frankly, it wasn't really something I was going to be into. At least I feel like I wouldn't be into it. And that is For the Kid I Saw in My Dreams. This is volumes 1 through 4. I probably bought this about a year ago, I think, by now. And I read a little bit of volume 1. Quite frankly, I wasn't really just into it, which is a shame because I think it would be a pretty good series, but I just can't get past volume 1 personally. And yeah, so it's just gotta go. It's taking up space, it's gotta go. This next series is actually one that I was really hoping to enjoy, really like hyped up for. And quite frankly, the main character here, she ticks all the boxes for me, like visually, mwah, just But the story is just garbage. It's terrible. It's boring. I didn't find myself actually really enjoying what I was reading. And yeah, so we got to get rid of volumes 1 through 3 of The Maid. I hired recently is Mysterious. Such a shame. The anime, I watched it too. It was just as bad. Like, I found myself yawning constantly watching that. And when I was reading this series, I did read all the way up to volume 3. I would read maybe 2 or 3 chapters, get super tired, super bored of actually reading it, and it took me so much longer than it needed to actually read the series. So unfortunately, I just gotta get rid of it. It's a shame. As well, this series coming up is another one I was super hyped up for because the covers are absolutely incredible. They're great. They're fantastic. But this story makes absolutely no goddamn sense to me. And I just felt like the author has no direction in where he's going or what he's trying to achieve. And it's a shame because I think this particular series has so much potential. And it's just, it makes me mad having to dump this one. That is volumes 1 to 3 of Colorless. Like I said, the art in this is a little messy. Like, it's really hard to follow some of the action and some of the just scenes in general. The story is all over the place. Like, I can't keep track of really what's going on or why things are the way they are. It sucks, bro, because like I really wanted to actually like enjoy the series. Like, the covers drew me in. Like, and the fact that in the panels they have like certain aspects when they're talking about like the elements in the series or what, like, I forget what they're called, but I'm calling them elements, and they're like, they put color to them. So it's like this teal will just pop out against like the black and white, or even like this yellow gold kind of thing here pops out. But I just have no freaking clue what's going on in this series, and it's a shame because like I said, it looked like it was so promising, but it's so messy. The action is so all over the place, and I just can't keep up with who's doing what in what scene. The story is everywhere, and I think he tried to jam too much too soon. He should have just let it flesh out. Took maybe an extra volume to let it flesh out and it, mature a little bit. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. So it's a shame, but it's got to go. Now, this next series was one that I was hoping I could just read, turn my brain off, enjoy these big ass dudes fighting each other, beating the shit out of each other. But ultimately, I found myself falling asleep reading this more than actually like getting pumped up or enjoyed by it. It just didn't just didn't work for me. 1 through 5 of Records of Ragnarok. I read up to volume 4. Maybe I did read volume 5. Like I said, to me, the fights were boring. The build up to the fights were boring. The art is decent. It's just, and I like the concept where it's gods of all, I guess, spectrums versus like famous humans. And I love that idea. I love it. It works. I think it's a great idea. But the execution for me wasn't doing it, and I was just bored. I had no intention after, I want to say it was volume 4 was the last one I read, but I had no intention to actually read volume 5 anymore after I pre-ordered it. And I just don't have any interest in actually continuing the series and seeing what goes on, how it ends. Like, I was really hoping this would be like my and just enjoy it, just turn the brain off and enjoy it, but it's not. So out it goes. Following that up, we have a completed series. It's a very, very, very short series. And I thought it would be a really fun adventure in this post-apocalyptic world where just crazy shit's going on. And then there's like a mystery about the heroine in this. But nah, it's just too quickly paced. The art style is, man, like it hooked me at first. But then as the volume continued in 1, it got boring. And then that boringness in the art style just continued into the other 2 volumes, and that is Crazy Food Truck 1 through 3. This is completed. It is finished. It just, bruh, like, spoiler alert, when our main characters here, they die in volume 3, and quite frankly, the whole lead up to it sucked. It was clearly seen a mile away. They kind of gave you a foreshadowing of, especially for where is she, the girl here, about her death coming up because of the situation that she's in. And yeah, it's just, you could definitely skip this series. It's not that fun. It's really not. And I struggled so hard to read volume 3 because I was so done with this series. But I had already pre-ordered it in 3 volumes. I could sit through 3 volumes, but man, it was a struggle to finish this one up. So yeah, it's got to go. It's done. This one is probably the one series I'm actually glad. I had to make sure what I was about to say is correct, but this is the one series I'm glad out of all of them that I'm getting rid of, because it was, to me, it was that bad. Now we got 3 more series left that I'm getting rid of, and I think these are gonna be the most controversial ones because I think these ones are the most loved by the community. At least that's the impression that I'm getting. And we're gonna start it off with one I think a lot of people are really hyped about, really enjoy, and then we'll go from there. Die Dark volumes 1 through 3. Let me tell you something. I was really hoping to enjoy the series, especially after what was the other series? Doro. I don't have Doro. I watched the anime. I preferred the anime experience. Visually, it appealed to me so much. I just cannot get into this in manga format, and I don't know if it's just the way her writing is or what, but it just wasn't doing it for me. The art is great, don't get me wrong. The story seemed great. I think there was just too much of dialogue in between things, and it just didn't seem like there's a whole lot going on action wise. And for me, I need more action to really enjoy a series. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like fighting, but when I look at this series and I think about Doro, and I think this is where my mistake is, I'm trying to compare it so much to Doro, but when I compare this series to Doro, it just doesn't do it for me. And yeah, I just gotta go. And I tried reading this series multiple times, and I just can't do it. So unfortunately, I do have to get rid of these series because I don't want them just sitting on the shelf just to be there, Unfortunately, it's gotta go. Now this next series I know is loved by the community, especially the male demographic, for various reasons. The anime was top tier, fantastic. I really absolutely enjoyed the anime, and it's what's really pursued me to actually venture into getting the mangas for this and seeing where the story goes. But after reading it and being spoiled, I truly do feel like I was spoiled watching the anime because the voice acting was fantastic and all the greatness that came with this series. But My Dress Up Darling for the manga format, for me, isn't doing it. Yeah, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I have volumes 1 through 6 here. I actually have a double of volume 6 because I didn't realize I had already pre-ordered it and then I ordered it again. But yeah, it's just gotta go. It's just, the anime to me was great. After reading a couple of the volumes for My Dress Up Darling, I just prefer watching the anime for this more than actually reading it. So that's where I stand with that one. And lastly, this is the series that's probably going to be the most controversial drop for me. I know this series is super hyped up. Maybe super is not the correct term to use, but I know this series is very hyped up within the community. A lot of people are really looking forward to this. especially when it got announced. I fell into the trap. Quite frankly, I hate this series. I really hate this series. I do not find it fun whatsoever. I really tried. I tried reading all these volumes again, and it just wasn't doing it for me. So Sakamoto Days, volumes 1 through 3, in the trash. Get this shit out of here. I feel like, to me, there was just too much dialogue. There was just way too much dialogue. And the action just felt like it ended too quick when it happened. As soon as it happened, it felt like it ended just as quick. And I don't necessarily think that's a good thing. I really want this, if there's action going on, I want to be able to like get a couple panels or a couple pages to actually enjoy what's going on. And maybe that changes later on in the series. I don't know. I'm not about to find out. I know for a fact this is going to get an anime. I believe it was already announced at some point. Manga wise, I'm done. I can't. I'm not enjoying it. And these covers, I think these covers are great, especially volume 3. I think this cover is fantastic. I've seen the covers for, I think it was 4 and maybe 5. I thought those were even better than this. But if I'm not enjoying reading this, the covers aren't going to do anything for me then. So I'm going to get rid of this trash. Sakamoto Days, more like I ain't got nothing for it. I'm like so irritated by not actually liking the series. So yeah, gotta get rid of it. So that covers everything for the last unhauling adventure we have. I'm probably gonna do another unhauling later in the year, probably like towards the end of the year, because going through, this is something I think I'm gonna start doing at the end of every year. Just go through, find out what I don't want. But yeah, that covers it for this unhauling. You know, a lot of these series I really wanted to enjoy and really like, but for various reasons, primarily it's just the hype was so overwhelmed or so hyped up that I think it fizzled or just failed for me to actually enjoy. And if you enjoy them, hey, more power to you. That's great. But for me, and in my opinion, they're garbage and they need to be out. That's my unhauling video, part 2. And I will see you guys at the end of the month for probably my biggest manga haul for this year. It would probably be literally the only biggest haul I do for this year. And we got some old series and we got some stuff that I've been slacking on getting. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.